So the average value is 1 over 7 minus 1. It's the integral from 1 to 7 of this function. Okay, so to integrate this, oh, I think we're okay. There's nothing too complicated about this integral. We don't need any sort of fancy substitution. I guess you could make this substitution, u equals x plus 2, then du is just going to be 1. So we have u, and du could just be a times 1 constant we have out here. I'll carry it down here. 1/6 integral from 1 to 7. This is the square root of u du. You don't necessarily have to do this. You might have already looked at this integral and you know how to do it. But this makes it a little simpler because this is just the power rule in reverse, right? The square root of u means a 1/2 power. So for evaluating an integral, the power is going up. So now it's going to have a 3/2 power. Goes up by 1. But to compensate, we got to multiply it by 2/3 because our derivative needs to equal square root of u. So now it does. And actually, this isn't the limits of integration right now because it's now in terms of u. But if we plug x back in, it was u was x plus 2, so this is x plus 2 to the 3/2, and that's from 1 to 7. Okay, now we're ready to start plugging stuff in. So this is 1/6. We got 2/3 of 7 plus 2 makes 9 to the 3/2. And then we want to subtract that by 2/3, 3 to the 3/2. And then you could distribute the 1/6. I have a feeling WebAssign wants it as a radical. I think if you type it in like this, it should be okay. But before we start trying to think about funny ways of doing it, you can factor 2/3 out of everything. Actually, that might be nicer. So this is 2/3. This is 2 over 18, which is 1 over 9. I factored the 2/3 from both terms and multiplied it out here. So that's 2 over 18, which is 1/9. Yeah. How can we make this even easier? This is 1/9 is 9 to the negative first, right? So 9 to the negative first times 9 to the 3/2, that would make 9 to the 1/2. And then 9 to the negative first, we can turn this into base of 9 because 3 is the same thing as the square root of 9, right? And that's being raised to the 3/2. So this is 9 to the negative first times 9. Oh, the powers are multiple. Okay, I got to write that step out because I'm messing something up. Here, before we distribute, this is 1/9 is 9 to the negative first. It might have accepted this answer that we just wrote up above WebAssign, but this is square root of 9 to the 3/2. Okay, and then powers on top of powers multiply. This is now 9 to the 3/4 because 1/2 times 3/2 is 3/4. And so now you've got 9 to the 1/2 because those two powers add when you multiply them. And then this is going to be 9 to the negative 1/4 over here. So final answer, the square root of 9 is 3. And then to make that a positive exponent, that could be 1 over 9 to the 1/4. I think I saw radicals in there though. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't even do all this finagling because this is right. This is right, but this is not like the same exact answer I saw in WebAssign. I don't know what they were doing because they eventually turned this back into square root of 3. So sorry, into terms of 3. So 9 to the 1/4, that's the same thing as 1 over 3 to the 1/2 times, wait, I think it might be it. Yeah, because 3 squared would make 9. Yeah, so this is the same thing as this. And that's because 3 squared equals 9. And so a 2 times a 1/4 makes 1/2 for power. So this is the answer I saw in WebAssign. But again, you could type in this answer you had up here, and that would probably be fine too. I forgot about this part. What particular z does this average value equal f of z? So we're supposed to find out the x-coordinate where we reach this average value. So you want to plug 3 minus 1 over the square root of 3 where y would go, right? 3 minus 1 over the square root of 3. That equals the square root of x plus 2. And then you can solve for x, because this is asking for an x-coordinate, right? So if you square both sides, then you've got 3 minus 1 over the square root of 3 times itself. And so you distribute that, it's going to be 9 minus 2 over the square root of 3 plus 1 over 3. Subtract that 2 from both sides, so you get 7 minus 2 over the square root of 3 plus 1/3. I would stop and try to type this in. I guess I don't know what they'd do to simplify. They'd probably combine these two numbers. So this is 21 over 3 plus 1 over 3. That's 22 over 3 minus 2 over the square root of 3. I messed something up when I multiplied this times this times this. That's 3 times 1 over the square root of 3. This should be a 6 here, I think. Yeah, this should be a 6. So this is 6. And then if you rationalize the denominator, that's the same thing as 2 square roots of 3. So that should have been the correct answer, not this.